Hello everyone and welcome back. My name is Tom and this is Tom's Toys 95. I'm a part-time eBay reseller here on YouTube and I haven't actually uploaded anything for around about 3 weeks now. I've had a lot going on in my life, personal reasons really, and I just haven't had time to make many videos recently. So what have I been up to then for the last 3 weeks? Well, the first week was very disappointing. So that would have been the 13th of June, ongoing from the last video. Now, I only had 5 sales that week, and it was probably a really poor week compared to every other week that I've had this year. And there was a reason for that. And I was going to make a bit of a rant video about eBay, but I actually realised that it was most likely my fault. So one of the privileges of having a store is that you get to put your store in holiday mode, and I was away seeing my sister for a couple of days down in London, and I have a 2-day dispatch, therefore I wouldn't have been able to dispatch on certain days. So I decided to put my eBay shop into holiday mode, and what I didn't realise was that I actually basically delisted all of my items, or made all of my items unsellable. Which I didn't realise. So I thought you put it in holiday mode and items can still sell, at least that's the impression that I got from other sellers and other advice online. And so I went away the week after with my girlfriend and I put my store on holiday mode again, except this time I noticed there was a checkbox and you can basically choose to keep your items active and people can still purchase it. But obviously you just can't post it until you're back from your holiday. And obviously that lets the buyer know, which is what I selected the second time. And while I was away, I actually made a few sales. However, I did notice that by default, the option, I can't remember exactly what it said, but it essentially takes all of your items down or stops people from buying them. And so as a result, I tanked my eBay sales. And that week where I had 5 sales, I sold 3 things in one day, which was towards the later end of the week. And I think I had a 6 or 7 day period where I sold absolutely nothing. And it turns out it was my fault and I was just a plonker and forgot to select the right option. So here's a tip going forward. Make sure you're careful when you put your store in holiday mode. Make sure you select the right option so that you don't freeze your store like I did. Now, just a quick overview of week 1 then. So the first item I sold was 2 Scooby-Doo plush toys. Picked these up from Home Bargains, only paid £1.49 each, and they sold for £8 plus postage. The second item I sold was some Crossy Roads figures. Now, these are Disney figures based off the mobile game Crossy Road, and they're essentially just little Disney figures that are like little cubes. And I bought a bundle of those last year, I think for £3 or £4 from the car boot. And I split them into a few bundles, and one of the bundles has sold. So there were 16 figures in that bundle, and I believe that sold for around about £8 or £9. The next item was a rather nice item that was spoiled a little bit by the condition of it. So I paid £4 for a football shirt, and it was a team called Austria Vine, and it was the 2007-2008 shirt, and it was long sleeved, brand new with tags. Now the only issue I had was that one, it's not really a very well known team. However, it is quite a popular shirt. However, there was some mould and staining to the shirt. So despite it being new, it was damaged. And I couldn't really wash it because I wasn't confident that the stains would come out. It did look like mould, which is a shame. But also, if I took the tag off, that would also devalue the item even more. So if I devalued the item by taking the tag off and the stains didn't come out, then I'm left with a used stained shirt. So I'd rather sell it as a new shirt, and then whoever buys it, it's up to them what they do with it. Now, I had quite a lot of offers on this, but they were all lowball offers, which I understand in hindsight as it is stained and damaged. However, I was aiming quite high. There was one other listed on eBay and it sold for quite a lot of money, and the other one listed was aiming for around £80 or £90 by the seller. So I decided to put mine at £45. I was sending offers out for like 25 to 30, but people wasn't really having it. And someone sent me an offer for £19, and after having several lowball offers and lots of offers that I sent out declined, I decided just to accept it. So £4 into 19 after fees, I'll probably get about £12 profit, so I'm happy with that. The next item to sell were 2 Nintendo DS games, and they were Lego Harry Potter years 1 to 4 and years 5 to 7. I bought both of these together from the car boot. I offered the lady £5 for the pair. They're both complete, really good condition, and those sold for £13.50 plus postage. And the very last thing that sold only cost me 25 pence. I bought a bundle for £2 of mini brands. I've split them down into individual prices, and this specific bottle only cost me 25p, and it was a gold hydration silk bottle. I don't know what that means really. However, that sold for, I believe, £4. Now, that's not a great deal of money. However, I only paid 25p for it. And because it was a gold figure, it's obviously like a variant or reflectable figure. The others are listed in a bundle, but that specific one, I could make a bit of money off it just selling it on its own. So I split it up. And I think it was up for about £4.50 or £5. Someone sent me an offer for £4. So quick turnover, I'll take that for £4. So that then wrapped up week one, and I made £29.50 in total. I won't go over all of the figures and breakdowns. However, I made £29.50 profit in that week, despite only selling 5 items, but that still only works out about £4 or £5 profit per item, which isn't too great, but it is what it is. And I tanked my own store by putting it in holiday mode. So that is my own fault. Let's move on to week 2 of 3 as I've been absent. So week 2, I sold 9 items, which was a bit better than the 5 that I sold before. And I also had a holiday with my girlfriend. It's their 5-year anniversary. So we went to a lovely place called Ribblesdale Park up in Lancashire, and we stayed there for 2 nights. So again, I put my store in holiday mode, but this time I didn't make the mistake I made last time, and I did actually make a few more sales. So let's get into those 9 things now. Up first, I sold a deal jacket, which is a vintage clothing brand. I picked this up from the clothing bundle from my friend or family friend about 2 years ago now, and that sold for, I believe, £15 plus postage. So those don't really cost me anything, so I'm very happy to see that go after it's been listed for some time. The next thing is one of the Wolves tank tops, which I actually thought would linger for quite a while, as it is a tank shirt and it is for kids, not men's. So that one actually sold for £7.99, so I was pleased to see that go. That one I bought recently from a car boot and only cost me £1. I also sold a Gremlins Steelbook. Now this went for $44.99, which I was really happy with, and I only paid £15 for it from Cex. However, there's quite a lot of fees on the item. It was something like £9 in fees, which seems a bit high. I'm not sure how eBay works it out. Different categories have different fees, so I'm not sure if something, was causing it to be so high. There was also some ad fees as well, which obviously incorporates that into the price as well. So after everything, I think I made about £34 on that item. So that's a good £20 profit, so I'm happy with that. Next, we have a PS1 game, and that is Gran Turismo. Now, I believe I already have this in my collection, so I didn't keep this one. So this one was about £3 from a car boot not too long ago either. And that one, so it's good to see that newer items are starting to sell quite quickly. But that one was £3, and that sold for £9 plus postage. So following on from Gran Turismo, we've got a couple more games to go through. So Wreckfest on the Xbox One sold for £8.99 plus postage, and that one cost me £4 from the car boot. And Resident Evil Dark Side Chronicles on the Nintendo Wii was £2 from a car boot, and that also sold for £7.99 plus postage. Next, we sold a yellow watch strap from the watch bundle, which cost me £1, and that sold for £9.99 plus postage. Up next, a little bit of a fail in the long run. However, it's also not really cost me much in terms of the business. So I bought a band hoodie when I went to see the band many years ago, and they're called Blood Youth. And I think I paid £15 for it from the gig, and that sold for £8 plus postage. But I have had that a long time. I've worn it and it no longer fits, unfortunately. And the last item is, I believe it's Muck from Pokemon. Now, this was a bit of a fail as well. This was £4 in the clearance at TK Maxx. I thought it would sell for a little bit more than it did. Someone sent me an offer for £5.50. It's been listed for quite a while, so I accepted that. So after fees, I think I made something like 24p. So it is what it is, but it's another thing out the door. And that wraps up week 2. So in week 2, we made £43.11, which was better than the £29.50 on week 1. And we also sold 4 more items, but by my standards, it's still not great. Now, I have been busy, as I said, and I just haven't had time to list anything. So my store has taken a bit of a hit in the algorithms. I haven't been listing daily. I haven't really been adding any new items. I also put my store on holiday mode twice. Once I blocked sales, and once was obviously still in holiday mode, so people don't necessarily want to wait. So all of those taken into consideration, that's probably really harmed my store over the last month. I also haven't been going to any car boots recently because I want to save my money and I want to try and be more careful with what I'm buying. I also haven't had a chance to list anything, as I just mentioned, so I've got a lot of backlog of stock that needs listing, and I don't want to go to the car boots and then just keep building up the items. I've also got a backlog of videos as well, so I haven't got the memory on my phone to go to a car boot, record footage, and have that footage sat on my phone along with the other videos as well. So it's been a pretty chaotic week. I've also had a new boiler and radiators replaced in my house, so it's been very chaotic. We had a 5-day period where there's just workmen in and out every single day, banging and everything else, mess everywhere. So I really just haven't had a chance to do any videos. So week 1 and 2 have been pretty disappointing. It's the start of week 3 though now, so hopefully we get a few more sales this week and we do an improvement on week 1 and 2. But yeah, guys, that's the reason why I have been so busy over the last couple of weeks. But we're going to get into this week now, and there's a few more sales that I've made at home, which I will get and bring into work tomorrow, and we'll go over those as well and go over everything that's sold. But yeah, there's a few pickups I've got for my trip away with my girlfriend as well, which I'm going to go over tomorrow. And I've also got a couple of Cex pickups as well. So I'm going to go all over those in this video, and then we'll wrap up as normal. So it's a new day, and it's time to go over what I picked up from the charity shop from my trip with my girlfriend last week. So first off, we went to 2 charities, well, probably about 4 charity shops went into, and I picked up some things from 2 different stores. Now they are all football themed, which is great because I love football. One charity shop had quite a lot of football tops and the other one had some shorts. They wasn't the same team though, so we'll go through those now. So up first, we've got a pair of these Arsenal swimming trunks. Now they are quite a big size. So the label's been cut out, so unfortunately I won't be able to put the size in the description. I'll have to measure the waist. But I believe the other pair of shorts are a 3XL, so it's a similar theme, and these also look quite big as well, so I believe these will also be donated by the same person and probably be a 3XL as well. Now these were £5.50. This is one still got the tag on, the other one I've taken off. But yeah, just some generic Arsenal shorts. You got Adidas logo there and the Arsenal badge. Quite a nice pair. Up next, we've got another pair of Arsenal shorts, but these are a bit different. So these are 424. Now I'm not aware of this brand, but I believe they're quite expensive when I did my research. So you've got the Arsenal logo there, quite small as well for football shorts, especially with this size. You'd expect the logo to be much bigger than that. But they're Adidas and 424, which is a collaboration they did. And now brand new, these were selling online for around about £60 and they've all sold out. So they are quite a rare pair of shorts. So I believe I could get upwards of about 35, maybe £40 at high end because they are used. But they are a really nice big size. I believe they're 3XL. Unfortunately, I think the label or one of the labels has been cut out of that one as well. But it does have a size label right there which says 3XL on it. So yeah, nice pair of shorts. Not the best team, but they are a nice pair of shorts. So I reckon I could get about 35, 40. I paid £6.50 for those ones. So these were a little bit more expensive, but those ones were £5.50 and these were £6.50. Sticking with the football theme from the same charity shop, I also picked up, now it is actually a women's shirt, but I also picked up this Red Bull Leipzig, just casual polo shirt. Now, I didn't realise till I checked out, but it's actually got the tags on it as well, which is going to help it sell a bit better. Now, unfortunately, it is a woman's size, which is fine, but usually men sell better in football shirts. And also, this is a foreign club, so I believe these are German. So a German football team in women's size in the UK, probably not going to sell very well. I'm probably going to be stuck with this in a year's time. However, it was £4 and it was in the clearance for £2 in the charity shop. It had a sale sticker on it. And I didn't realise till I bought it, but it's actually got the tags on it. So hopefully I could get about £10 to £15 for that one. I'll aim high and just reduce it. I think the least I'll get for this is at least £5 or £6, but I'm going to aim for around about 10 to 15 to start with. So then that was the first charity shop, and the next one was also a bunch of football stuff. Now these are all the same team, not the same as the teams I've just gone through, but they are all the same team, and it looks like it's a bunch of training gear. So let's get into that one. So without further ado, we've got a bunch of Hearts training gear. Now this is the Scottish football team Hearts. So they are fairly well known in Scotland and in the UK. Probably not the most popular team, but they certainly are known. So if you get like a really local club, it's going to be really hard to sell. However, Hearts are a fairly well known team. Now they're all size small, so I don't know whether someone has worked or played for the club. Maybe their academy training gear, or they might just be coach training gear, I don't know. But we've got a nice blue polo shirt there. We've then got just a generic pair of Hearts shorts, also in blue, so it's obviously all part of one set. Now I couldn't see anything else to go with this other than what I picked up, so there might have been other accessories, or maybe a pair of socks, or there might have been like an outer jumper or something which I didn't see, or someone already bought before me. But we've got these Hearts shorts there. Then we've also got this soft shell outer zip up long sleeved shirt. So that would probably, well, would be like a top that would go over the shirt. And the very last thing then is this more casual training shirt. I don't think this is the football shirt. I think this is just a training top. So we've got that one there. Now, there's no sponsors on these, so it all suggests to me that it's training gear, so I will have to price those up accordingly. Now, they're all small men's, so again, there might be a bit of a struggle to sell as they're a Scottish team, and they're quite a small size. On the opposite end, those Arsenal shorts are massive, they're 3XL, and these ones are all small, and so is I think the Leipzig shirt's also an extra small women's. So those will be quite a tough sell. But either way, I think there's profit to be had. So all of that heart stuff, I think it cost me $17.50. So there were I think the cheapest thing was the shorts at $3.50. The tops were $4.50 each. And I think the jacket was $5.50. So I also popped into Cex and picked up 2 games. Now, both of these were Steelbooks and both were on the Xbox 360. Now, I don't know whether these will go up in price with the store closing down. I believe it just closed down the other day. It would have already closed by the time you watch this video. But the first one is one that I was after for a very long time on the PS3. And I've only recently found it on the PS3 actually, and I found it again on the Xbox 360. As I have it in my PS3 collection, I probably won't keep it, but I might because it's a different size steelbook, so I may add it to the collection too. But that is a Battlefield Bad Company Gold Edition. Now the good thing with this one is it has the map behind the manual. So we've got, a poster. So it comes with the poster. The manual also says Gold Edition, and so does the disc, so it's all complete. I don't think there's anything missing from this, so this will be a nice condition copy. Unfortunately, there are a few signs of rust and scratches, but it's really not as bad as I've seen some in the past, and the reason I haven't picked them up in the past is just because they're absolutely battered, they're dented, or they're really rusty. So there's not much damage going on. There's a little bit there where it's come away from the case, and there's a few little rust patches in the corners, but overall it's not too bad. So I think this was at £8 from Cex. I could probably get about 15, maybe 20 on eBay if I'm patient with that one. Now this is another one which I believe goes for around about £25-30. I paid 15 for this one from Cex, and this is Lightning Returns Final Fantasy 13, but this is obviously the Steelbook version. Now the regular version is also sold for 15, so I know this one does go for a little bit more. I was doing my research on the PS3 collection, looking through some of those, and I also had a Steelbook collection which I picked up a few weeks ago, and this one was actually in it. So the one I picked up doesn't have the disc, so this does, so I'll get more for this copy. But this one obviously comes with the game disc. You've got the manual in there as well, and then you've also got the nice Steelbook. So I reckon I could probably get about 25 to 30 for this one with the game disc, and the one without the game disc I could probably get about 24. So those are all the Cex pickups and the Charity Shots pickups for this week. I probably won't have time to go anywhere else this week, so we'll just go through the sales for this week when they happen, and then we'll get into the results at the end of the video as normal. Obviously, if I do pop anywhere, I'll add it in the video, but I'm trying to save my pennies and save money for the car boots when I decide to go back. And it's time to quickly just go over the sales. So the first one we sold was Friday the 13th. This is the Ultimate Slasher Edition, and the only real difference with this one is it comes with a poster. I've got 2 of these in stock, and this one I sold for $13.95. This was from the game sale, and I believe it was $7.99. I got it for half price. I only paid £4 for it. So £10 profit minus fees, probably get about 7 or 8 quid, so I'm happy with that. Up next then we got this Vancouver hat. Now this is brand new. I don't think it's been worn. It's got the sticker on there. And this is Vancouver 2010 Winter Olympics. Now this has been lingering on my stall for about 2 or 3 years now. It just hasn't sold. Maybe I listed it a bit too high, but I think £10 is a fair price for this. Obviously the Olympics are on at the moment in Paris, and that has therefore sold. So that went for £10, and I paid £2 for that from a car booth probably about 3 years ago. The next item to sell was this bag of Disney figures. Now these are waterproof sort of bath toys. Now I picked up a bundle of Mickey and Minnie ones, as you can see here, and there was some Toy Story ones as well. Now the Toy Story ones sold. I believe they went for around about £10-11, and then this one someone sent me an offer for £11, and I took that. So £11 plus postage. I paid £5 for the whole bundle, so I can't complain. The next sale was a car boot pickup, probably about 6 weeks ago. Not long made a video on this, but I picked up this Arch Enemy CD. Now I picked up 3 of these. This is the deluxe edition, and it comes with a 36-page art book. The bloke was selling these for £4 a piece. Now, I probably should have picked up more in hindsight. That he had about 8 in stock. I picked up 3 of them and thought I'd trial them at £4 each, so I paid £12 for the lot, and this one has sold for £15.99 plus post. So after fees, I should still get more than £12. So I've already made my money back and a little bit of profit, and I've still got 2 left to sell. Pretty cool item here in terms of markup at least. So I picked up a Legend of Zelda Nintendo 3DS video game probably about 6 months ago now for £12, and it came with the cartridge, but it also was a pre-order bonus case which included a poster. So what's happened is someone has taken the regular edition of the game and put the cartridge into the pre-order edition, which was just a case and a poster. So I ended up with the case, poster and the game. The game sold not too long ago for around about £14 or £15, which was cartridge only. I've got the case listed separately as it is a collectible case, and I also listed the poster separately. So this poster, which I'm quite shocked at, to be fair, that it actually sold for that much, but this has gone for £17.99. So I paid £12 for the whole lot, all 3 items, and just one of this item has gone for 18 quid, and I've also sold the cartridge. So I've probably got about £30 to £32 back for that game already, and I've still got the case to sell. So the last item that sold is Lost Planet on the Xbox 360. This is a Steelbook version. Probably a little bit of a fail, but I picked up a big bundle of Steelbooks last year, and it worked out £4 a piece. There were some rarer ones in that bundle than this one. This is one of the worst ones, let's say. Dead Rising sold not long ago for £9, and this one sold for £6.50 with free postage. So there's not much, or if any, profit in that. It's probably a loss in terms of the £4 that I paid. But overall on that bundle, I should have made quite a bit of profit back because there were some collectible steelbooks in there, and I've also added quite a lot to my collection. So probably a loss on that one. That is everything that's sold over the last couple of days. I'm going to go and wrap those now and take those to the post office. I do have a wedding tomorrow, and I won't be back till Friday. I'm not going to put my store in holiday mode because I'm coming back at Friday lunchtime. So if anything does sell either tonight or tomorrow, then I should be able to post it on Friday. So I will update you in any more sales. So then it's now the end of the week and it's time to go over the results. So we made 9 sales this week overall. There's 2 just quickly I want to talk about which I forgot to do some recording for at the start of the week. As I work in an office with other people, I can't really just start recording randomly. So some days I forget or don't have time to record, and then I have to post that item off, and I no longer have that item to talk about it. So that's why I kind of put some footage over the top. So the first 2 things to go over is a BioShock Xbox 360 Steelbook. That only sold for £4.25 with free postage. I only paid £1 for it, but after fees I only made 48p, so that's something that I've just had lingering for a very long time. A NECA Evil Dead 2 Deadeye Ash figure. That one has sold for £30 plus postage, which I was happy with that. That cost me £17.50 from a NECA bundle that I picked up in November. I've got 2 left now, I believe. So I'm into profit on that bundle now, and I got £24.44 after fees for that one. So the rest of the items you've already seen. So we sold 9 things in total. So let's go over the results. So the gross sales, £127.68. The eBay fees were £20.62. The postage was £19.66. And the cost to buy was quite high this week, mostly because of that NECA figure. But that was £41.99. And that leaves me with an overall net profit of £45.41. So over the 3 weeks, I've made £45 profit. Week 3, week 2 was £43 profit, and week 1 was £29 profit. Now the annoyance and the struggles, as you've probably seen with the title, but the struggles I've had with eBay recently is I haven't been listing much because I just haven't had time. I've put it in holiday mode twice. One of them was my fault and the other one didn't really generate any sales. And yeah, as a result of not listing and putting it in holiday mode, my sales have just completely dropped off, and yeah, I've not really made any profit at all. I've also had my store fees, which are £77 a month, and they're far too expensive, especially for me when I'm not making all that much profit. So out of that £120 profit that I've made over the 3 weeks, £77 of that is going into eBay's pocket. Just for having a store, just for having it open. So the worst thing I ever did was switch from personal to business. My sales have only dropped since I've switched over. I thought they would increase, but they really haven't. If I look at my sales figures from like last year or the year before, they've certainly been on par, if not better. Now you could argue it's the economy, but things are slowly getting back to normal. So I don't know, but switching over, I don't see any benefits other than the holiday mode. It's cost me a lot of money each month, and if I pay the £27 basic shop, you get 250 listings, and then it's 10 pence per additional listing. Now I have around 750 listings, so £27 plus 10 pence for 500 extra listings, that's £50, that's £77. So I might as well be on the medium plan, which is £77 a month, which is what I'm on. So I can get up to 1,500 listings. I don't have time to list that much stuff. I probably could list that much, have that many listings if I was to list everything that I have ready to sell, but I do have a big backlog pile, so I always think the middle one is probably the best one to go with. But as a result, I'm only just meeting the threshold, therefore I'm not taking advantage of having 1,500 items on my store. So the £77 is a very big expense for me, at least. So then, what's been going on in my life in the last 3 weeks? I've already discussed most of it in the video, but just a quick overview for those of you that are still watching. I've been really busy with my boiler being replaced, my radiator's being replaced, and my tax stuff that I just haven't been listing. So in the last 3 weeks, I've barely listed a thing, and as a result, I've not really been making many sales either. I also did a public speaking event, which is something that I really don't want to do. So for my job, I'm a marketer and I have a mentor. We go to various networking events. One of the things that the event offers is a mentor. So I took the opportunity to have a mentor for 6 weeks. And one of the challenges he set me was to do a public speaking event, which I certainly would never see myself doing, but I did one anyway, and the event was actually on eBay Reselling. It went quite well, but I spent a whole week pretty much going over the script, revising, making the presentation, etc. So I've just had so much to do, and the tax is a real big headache for me because my accountant wants every single minute detail of what I picked up, what I bought, what I sold, how much I paid for it, when it sells. You know, you've got to put in what I paid, where it came from, etc. I've got to do all my mileage and everything as well, and take pictures of all my receipts, download all my statements, put in there what's a business expense, what isn't. There's just so much to do, and it's been a big headache for me that is very nearly wrapped up, and I'm so glad that it's nearly done. But anyway, basically, things will get back to normal soon. Anyway, things will get back to normal soon, and I'm sure the videos will come rolling as normal. But anyway, until then, I will see you later, and see you on the next video.